it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I have got a very small project for you, but I thought it was quite fun. This is using the Merry Patterns stamp set, which is the one that is only available free if you place an order of £250 or more on my online store, or alternatively if you place an order of £25, and for each £25 you place an order for, you get an entry into my draw for a free copy of this. The stamp set's only available until the 31st of October, and my draw is only until the 31st of October. So bear that in mind. We've only got until the 31st of October to play with this, certainly as far as demonstrations are concerned, because after that it won't be around, so I won't be demonstrating it. Anyway, so this is the smallest card in the world. Well, probably not, because it's 3x3, and it's to go with one of our 3x3 mini envelopes, which are available in the Autumn Winter catalogue. And I thought I would show you how I've done this with 3 different colours of embossing powder. So let's get started. These are the candle stamps. I'm actually not going to use this one, but I'll use all the others. So let's start with a piece of basic black cardstock. And I'm not going to make life difficult for myself, or more difficult than it needs to be. So I am not going to start with a pre-cut piece. I will cut it down to the required size, but I'm not that brave. So the first thing I will do is add a bit of embossing buddy. The final size of the card is 2.5 by 2.25 for the black, but this obviously is bigger than that. So first thing I'm going to do, actually for some reason I like to do my Versamark the wrong way up, or this way up, and I've never quite worked out why. So I'm starting with the more solid image, this one, because this is an easier place to start. Of course, what would be really easy is if I knew which end of the card I had put embossing buddy over, so let's do it over all of it. So this is going to be the easiest one, because all I need to do is stamp. So that's that. I'll clean that later. I always like to cover my Versamark when I bring in embossing powder, because you just don't know where embossing powder is going to go. So this is the copper embossing powder. So I'm going to start with that for those candle bases, and close that and get rid of it, and trusty cheese board. So I'm going to emboss as I go, but I'm going to be very careful not to overheat, because some of this is going to get a lot more heat than anything else. So I want it to be melted, but not, I don't want to go too mad at this stage. So that's the copper and the solid candles. So just straighten that out. So I've now got the cutaway candles, for want of a better word. And these I'm going to emboss in silver. Now, because I've got a colour down, I can now see where to stamp. Famous last and words spring to mind, particularly when there is a, sorry guys, camera in the way. Okay, so make sure that's well stamped, and grab the silver, don't need that. So, silver embossing powder. So also remember, I know I keep reminding you of this, but do remember that the Designer Series paper sale, also the buy 3 get a 4th free, also finishes on the 31st of October. So jump over to my online store and fill your boots with that one, because it would be a real shame if you wanted more designer series paper and it was one of the ones that was in the offer if you didn't get it. And if you buy 3 packs of designer series paper, you'll get an entry into my draw, because it will come to more than £25. So what's not to love about that? Right, so remind myself that I've got to attack that with a heat gun again, so let's not go mad. So now I've got my flames, and again, Versamark. Now this is not something that you would necessarily want to do a batch of, but if you did, I would do all of the copper, all of the silver, so I'd do it in a batch. So these I'm just going to sort of, might actually be easier for me to do it upside down so that you're not in the way again. Not that I don't love you being there, because I do, but it's just easier for me to see where I'm stamping if I can see where I'm stamping. So gold, because gold seemed like the right thing to have for flames. And then we're nearly done. So, Cheeseboard City, clip. Ooh. Let's try doing that properly, shall we? That's better. Right. Now I just need to check that all of the other, so there's a bit down at the bottom of this candle there that could do with a bit of a, so this is where I go in and just make sure that everything else is properly melted, but otherwise you can end up burning your embossing powder. In fact, I might actually show you what I mean by that, because I keep saying don't burn your embossing powder. Let's find a smaller piece, that'll do. So, let me just show you what I mean by burning embossing powder. Gold is actually the easiest one I find to get it wrong on. So let's pop some embossing powder on there. And tuck that out of the way while I do this. So, let's see if I can get this so you can see it easily. So that's nice and melted, and then if I keep going, of course it's now not going, oh there it goes. So it was nice and glossy. So let me do one at the other end. That is right. And then we can do a compare and contrast. Right, so I'm just popping some more Versamark on there. More gold embossing powder. It's actually quite a nice look when you do it part way, but it's not the right look. Right, let's see if I can get that caught. Yes, there we go. All right. Okay, so let's see if I can pick this up without burning myself and doing what I didn't want to do, which was another good lesson. Put that down. So I've just, because this was still wet, it hadn't set properly. So let's see if I can get this so you can see it. So this one is the one we just did, which is nice and shiny. And this one is the one we did first, which is sort of mottled. Can you see the difference between those? I don't know if you... sort of, I think, is the answer. Maybe if I do it so that one's more in the light. Can you see? This one's gone a bit matte, and that's because I overheated it. And it just feels different. It feels matte, whereas that one feels smooth. So don't overheat your embossing powder, is what I was trying to say. Right, so I'm now going to trim that down. This time I've got the champagne foil, and I'm going to trim my candles so that they are, now let's see how, let's unclip that. Can you see? Can you just? Right, so I need this to be 2 1/4 in depth, so 2 1/4. And then 2 1/2 across. So at the moment it's 3 inches, so I need to trim 1/4 inch off each side. Whoops. Might actually be easier if I do it upside down, as it's curling up. So one piece off. Make sure I've got it the right way around. Super duper. Clip that back together. Right, so this is 2 3/4 by 2 1/2. This is 2 1/2 by 2 1/4. So we've got a nice little frame, 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch frame all the way round. Now I just need to decide what ribbon to use. I used the copper trim last time, and I think I will use the copper trim again. So let's grab the right amount of copper trim. There we go. Bit of fast fuse on the back. Now last time I put dimensionals between the black and the copper, and I don't think that was the right thing to do. I think I want the dimensionals between the foil and the card base. So I'm just going to hold that kind of where I want it. Tuck one end under. And the other end under. And then add some more fast fuse. And this is, because we've done quite a lot of embossing, the card is wanting to curl, shall we say. So I'm going to put quite a lot of fast fuse on. And just line that up. There we are, and that will help keep it flat. And then grab my card base, which I had just now. I did, underneath the stamps. Right, so this is my little 6x3 card base scored down the middle. Few dimensions. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to sort out where I put, how I do my camera setup, and I thought I had it sussed and it didn't work. So I've got to think again. So just one in each corner. Oh, and the sun's coming out. It's actually quite a nice day today. Although I've now got to trot along to my local church, which is in the village, and do the flowers. Because it's my turn to do the flowers for the altar, so that's always quite fun. So I was out picking greenery this morning and got some flowers from the local market. So there we go. 2 little cards ready for the 3x3 envelope and dimensional backing. So there we are. Let's pop that in there and that in there. I think those are really cute. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do hit subscribe down in the bottom right hand corner. That would be great. As I say, if you want any of the dimensions, they will be on my blog, and I will convert these to metric as well. And there will be links to the products I've used. So all you need to do is click on the picture, and that will take you straight to my online store. So I'll make it really easy for you to shop with me, and that would be great. I'd love to earn your business. I do try and look after my customers and send them little gifts and things. And if you buy with me, I also share the hostess rewards. So yeah, and do remember that between now and the end of the month, if you spend £25 or more, for every £25 you spend, you will be entered into my draw for one of these stamp sets. And I'm kind of losing count on how many I've got. I know it's 3, and I think it may be 4. Anyway, certainly 3 and possibly 4. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!